So welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam, and this is my second ever frog dog fight, which is very cool. It's Lantern Year 1. Death and insanity, let's go! Past the grits indeed. That is what we're here for. So Lantern Year 1 of Dogs to the Starry Dragon campaign. Good old People of the Stars with a whole bunch of doggo themes. If anyone has a dog-related name, be it, I don't know if I'd recommend naming survivors after beloved dogs, or family dogs, because the survivors are likely going to die. But any fun dogs in media or anything, I've got a bunch of doggo survivors that need names. So check them in the chat, check them in the comment section after the stream, and we'll name up some doggo themed survivors. I'm actually really excited for some hunt event cards too with this Frago Doggo, which is very exciting. Gribbly, horrific monster that it is. And I did actually get a little bit of hobby time. Quick little preamble here. And so I figured I would start building out the, I can't remember what the name of it is, the Frog Dog armor set. So we've got a tank person here with I think Long Staff is the name, applicable name, and a shield, because that'll be super cool. And then I've never had the opportunity to use a scythe, so we're going to be going to building that out. And we might do a really weird build based on high speed, low accuracy. It sounds like a terrible idea, but also sounds kind of fun, so we'll see. And on that note, let's get right into it. So our survivors are Airbud, Dogpole 3, which is one who needs a name, Old Yeller, and Spot. I'm just going to make sure I've got them in the right order here. In a minute. Okay, so Dogpole, we'll say, is that person there. That is fine by me. And then who is Airbud? One moment, yeah. Okay, Airbud is a lady, so that works there. And then we have Dogpole 3, Old Yeller, so well, Airbud, Dogpole. It'll take me a little bit to get all the names down. Spots. What gear does Spot have? Spot has nothing, so... And Spot is a lady. So there we go. We'll see if I can actually remember the lineup of the characters there. But yeah, let's roll these dice and see what we get as we scoot forward here. Oh, fun. What would that be in that case? That would be 90. Or 9. What would it actually supposed to be? I guess that would be supposed to be... I guess that would be 9. Let's go ahead and assume that that's going to be the case. Would that be 9 or 90? I cannot remember what that would be. That would be 10. Yeah, we'll go with 9. Okay. Show 9. Good old 9-9. Golden Light. A golden light blinds a survivor, stopping them in their tracks. The light shines from a single source. The event revealer is compelled to investigate. They gain +1 courage and roll a 1d10. If the event revealer is blind, which they're not, they roll and they walk in the wrong direction and gain 3 insanity. Roll again. Okay, so we gain 1 courage for Airbud. Fun stuff. So add that. Boom, boom. And rolling a d10. 6. Okay. 4 to 8. You wander through the light bathed in a warm, awful feeling. You don't find anything other than exposure. Suffer monster level event damage to a random hit location. Fun stuff. Okay, that is going to be 1 damage to the hands. So that is a light wound to the hands. And we'll scoot on up. Next up is Dogpole 3, who needs a name. And Dogpole 3 is going to scoot on up and reveal this Frog Doggo hunt event. Belching mouths. The stone faces ahead belch an unbearable acrid mist. Each survivor rolls 1d10. The lowest scoring survivor, randomized in case of a ties, becomes the straggler. They are caught up in the stink. Choose 1 result. Okay, well, we don't really have any stinky gear or buccal blood breathing or aproctophilia, so it's going to be migraine for whoever is the slowest. Also loving the scribe. This is not an art campaign. I figured I'd do one more just kind of base original campaign, because this is only my second one ever, and I was still kind of rough on the rules with the first one. But next one, I think I'm going to do Arc Survivors, and we'll probably do People of the Dreamkeeper. But yeah, so just a normal base one for this. Okay, so rolling for Airbuds, getting a 1, and then we have Dogpole 3, getting a 7. Next up is Old Yeller, getting a Lantern 10, and last but not least, we have Spot. Spot gets a 6. All right, so that is going to be... Airbud is going to get a migraine. You crumble in pain. Set your insanity to 0 and gain a random disorder. I've had 1 migraine in my entire life. Crumpling in pain sounds about right. Okay, so insanity to 0 is already there, and a random disorder. We'll just apply it in Scribe, because, yeah, this app is unreal. Traumatized. Whenever you end your act adjacent to a monster, you are knocked down. Well, that just sounds awful. Okay, well, that's fun. So we'll add that back to the deck there. We'll scoot everybody forward. There we go. And so next up on our rolls here is going to be Old Yeller. And this is going to be just a normal hunt event table. Also with the Scribe fellow, I love that he's also quite active online in chat too. So if you ever have like any questions about the app or when updates or new content's coming, he's always very quick to respond on BGG. Okay, 17. 17, face to face. Amidst the sea of stone faces, one catches the event revealer's eye. They feel compelled to investigate. Gain +1 courage and roll 1d10. So +1 courage for Old Yeller here. There we go. And rolling a d10. Getting a Lantern 10. Woohoo! Okay, so 8+. The face is your own. But older and wiser. Gain 1 survival and 1 understanding. Well, that is a treat. 1 understanding and a survival going up to 1. Awesome. Wife gets a migraine every month. Definitely gives it disorders. Oh, ouchie kibbles. Yeah, that sounds rough for both parties. Okay. Onwards we go, and that is going to scoot us directly into the Froggo Doggo encounter. So we'll put this book off to the side, scoot these fellows away, get rid of the rest of these cards. I think, in fact I don't think, I'm pretty dang sure that the hunt event cards in this expansion are a different color than the rest. Which I do find it kind of odd that this game, I guess it does have so many releases over the years that like there are different card backs for some things. I do like the kind of bronzy gold color though. It is cool. And there we go. We'll put that over yonder. And if I remember correctly, this should be the setup there. And we can place our survivors in anywhere here, here, or here. So how do we want to do this? I'm kind of thinking, let's go ahead and have, who was Airbud? Airbud is, we'll put Airbud as, I think I might have already mixed this up, but Airbud will be the blue-haired person. And then we'll have Dogpole 3, who's also technically a lady, but we only got the 4 starting survivor miniatures here. Let's see, where do we want Dogpole 3? Let's put Dogpole 3 here, and then we'll have Old Yeller, who's the only male. He's going to be right there, and then we'll also have, last but not least, Spot right there. All right, so the prologue dogfight was pretty cool. It was not super difficult, but difficult enough for a prologue, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see the slight increase of difficulty to the level 1. We've got this classic Kingdom Death, gribbly horrific, but also just fantastic art. There are, I didn't realize it in the first playthrough, there are some pretty phallic little weed things sticking out of the waves, so we'll not zoom in too closely. Yeah, bound to happen with printing over the years. Killennium Butcher, new trap card, has a slightly different shading. GCE is same with its hunt events. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I've got the GCE and I'm really excited to dive into it. Again, it'll be after this campaign, I think, just for getting some basics down and such. But I haven't gone through all the cards yet. Alrighty, brew. So, one thing I'm home ruling a little bit. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it. But so the setup for this fight is just these mammoth leaves. And apparently, from different sources online, the copper is a resource which is really rare and hard to come by, but really important to be able to get for the bullfrog dog, which is how I decided to sculpt this miniature. Or keep patch, I should say. Very, very minimal sculpting. So for this fight, I rolled a dice, and on a 6+, I'd be able to spawn a copperfish den. I didn't get it, so that's okay. In the future, once I get used to this fight a little bit more, I might do on a 5 or less, adding another piece of random terrain to the fight, just to keep it fresh and interesting. But right now, I figured we'd just do it just as intended. So let's see. I will quickly cruise through the cards here. So, foul stench. Frog Dog's presence elevates the riot of smells in the area to a fever pitch. On arrival, all survivors gain 1 stink token for each stinky gear in their gear grid. If a survivor has any stink tokens, they are stinky. The stinkiest survivor is the one with the most stink tokens. Gotta say, this fight, or this encounter, reading the stuff out loud just feels really silly. But it is what it is. Okay, earbuds, nothing stinky. Dog pole, I don't think I have anything stinky. Let's do a quick double check here. Old Yeller. Monster grease, I think that one might be stinky. Yeah, so Old Yeller has 1 stink, so we'll put that there. Okay, cool. So that is the first trait. And leap. Place the frog dog in the center of a random mammoth leaf it currently does not occupy and turn its blind spot to face the center of the board. The monster crashes down with malicious heft. All adjacent survivors and survivors the monster lands on suffer monster-level damage to a random hit location. Okay. Then gaseous bloat and double sphincter. Our campaign will introduce ways to grant more terrain, avoiding specific spoilers. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's I've tried to keep it as spoiler-free as possible to a degree while also being excited about it and still wanting to read things about it here and there. But yeah, a lot of it sounds fantastic. Gaseous bloats. Loudly churning bilious organs inflate the monster's guts with putrid gas. Gaseous bloat. Place the top card of the fart deck face down on the double sphincter. If there are no farts left in the deck, the breathable air becomes too thin. All survivors suffer a random brain trauma and with -1 to the result. Then reshuffle the fart discard pile to create a new fart deck. See, that sentence, or a pair of sentences in particular, absolutely heinous. When the monster suffers a wound from a survivor in the heinous origin, which is the direct middle spot of its blind spot, a squealing emission dissipates harmlessly. Discard the top fart card on double sphincter. Fun stuff. So, double sphincter. Once again, absolutely horrific art. Puckered complex musculature emits heinous gas wrapped in a crackling mucus bubble. It wobbles through the air, drawn to the bioelectric pulses. At the start of the monster's turn, before drawing AI, play all farts on this card, 1 at a time. Yeah, so there we go. Fun stuff. And the mammoth leaf is pretty freaking sick. If you are directly on top of it, you can use your movement and action to bounce, giving you additional strength, +3, and moving up to 7 spaces and landing in a location of your choice. So, very cool stuff. Let's go ahead and see what its first turn is going to be. It is the start of its turn, so I think I might have messed this up last time. That does mean we need to put a fart card on double sphincter, so we'll do that now. And AI card number 1 is gnashing and barking. Oh, I didn't read the little story thing. We should probably do it really quick here too. So, Showdown Frogo Doggo. Survivors' heavy footfalls in the darkness agitate spores that pollinate the hostile plants crowding the cesspond. This highly toxic foliage comprises the frog dog's diet. A menu of corrosive poisons churn in the monster's labyrinthine digestive tract, producing gases of kaleidoscopic character. Wild. Okay, back to the action. Gnashing and barking. Pick target, furthest stinky threat. So that's going to be the person directly in front who's got the stinky gear. And because there's only the one stinky person, so that's going to move to attack. Doesn't need to move. 3 speed, 5+ accuracy, and 1 damage. Just going to double check. Just going to make sure that is Old Yeller. Yes. So +1 evasion means it's going to be 3 dice hitting on 6s, which feels really good. Yeah, that is going to be 1 hit, which we're okay with. Oh, never mind. This is an intimidate after attacking. Never mind. We're good here. I was getting ahead of myself there. So let's see where they get it. Old Yeller's Noggin, which actually does have some armor. So the armor is going to go down to 0 there, protecting ye old noggin. And then intimidate survivors. The monster's eyes bulge with exertion. It barks madly. Roll 1d10 for each survivor in the monster's facing. On a 4+, that survivor suffers monster level brain damage. Okay, so on a 4+. Nice. We do not suffer monster level brain damage, and that is the end of the Frog Dog's first turn. Cool. So how do we want to play this? We've got one person in the blind spot already. They're not in the heinous origin, which we would like to be to try to get rid of that fart card. So, as far as weapons, I crafted a bone dagger, and I'm kind of regretting it because I was looking at some of the dagger progression that I have, and there might be some good ones later on, but there's some other weapon types that I really want to try ahead of daggers, so I don't know if I'm actually going to be using daggers, so bit of a waste on the first round of crafting, but it is what it is. Okay, so Airbud. I can't remember who was going to be who, but that's okay. We'll just say that this person is Airbud. Let's put them... they're just going to stay where they are, actually. And they are going to attack with their bone dagger. So it's going to be 3 dice, hitting on 6s because they're in the blind spot. That is going to be 1 hit. And we connect with Sticky Tongue. Failure. Okay, so there's a failure, and there is a critical effect. I don't think there's anything fun on... Yeah, there's a perfect hit thing, but we don't get any perfect hits. And the toughness of this fellow is going to be... Oh, that is the wrong... Hang on. I've got the wrong basic action card out here. This is the Bow Frog Dog basic action. One wants... I gotta find the other one. Actually, it might just be, is the basic action here? No, it is not. Don't mind me. I'm just going to dig through these cards really quick here and try to find the right one. Technically, it would be kind of cheating looking through all these, but I don't know what any of them do right now anyways, so not too concerned with that. All right, so not there. What are these ones? Those are the fart cards. Did I put it back? Bullish Blast. That's interesting. I don't know where it is, so I'm just going to play with the one that we have. Because I don't think it's also in here. KG. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe this is just the normal one. I'm not too sure. No, it does say Bullfrog Dog. I thought there was another one, but we'll just use this one. That's fine. 3 dice on a 5-up, only doing 1 damage feels quite casual, so that's okay. All right, and so what are we looking to wound though? So we need a 7-up on the dice, which isn't the best odds. Okay, so we fail, and whipping its prehensile tongue, the monster snatches at its victim and takes off. Monster, if the attacker is not in the monster's blind spot, perform leap, then the attacker suffers grab. Okay, so we're in the blind spot, so we don't need to worry about that. Me likey. Next up, I think we're just going to move Dogpole 3. 1, 2 to there, getting on the Mammoth Leaf. That is going to be their turn. Because I don't think we want to... You know what? I'm just going to revert that, and we're going to go ahead with Airbud first. No, not Airbud. Old Yeller. Okay, so we do have the better weapon, and we are in the blind spot. So, Bone Blade. We're going to have 3 dice in the blind spot, so we're hitting on 5s. Oh, God. 3 3s is not going to do it. Ouch. That really stinks. Okay, well, yeah, that was a bummer. With that in mind, I don't know, yeah, that wouldn't work. Well, Spot, or Airbud. Spot it is. Spot in the front here. I think I already am mixing up where the characters are. That's okay. I need to it'll be easier once they're all kitted out with different stuff, and they'll be much more visible. All right, so in the very front, we're going to use the Founding Stone. So 2 dice hitting on 7s. We get 1 hit, which we shall take. Getting the Twitching Abdominis. All right, so we don't have, oh no, we do have 1 strength to add to this. So we're looking for a 7 up on the die, get a 6 becoming a 7, and we miss. So undulating spasms travel along the monster's bloated body, jerking its limbs wildly. If adjacent, the attacker suffers 2 damage to monster level hit locations. Ouch. Yeah, that's a fun one. Full move the monster away from the attacker. Ouchie kibbles. Okay, so they are adjacent. It's going to be 2 damage to 1 random hit location. Let's see where it is. The hands. Okay, so that means they are knocked down. Oh god, I think actually I already forgot about the disorder I picked up too. Who got it? Not Old Yeller, that is good. Not Dogpole 3. Airbud. Whenever you end your act adjacent to a monster, you are knocked down. So there we go. And that would be the end of our turn. I feel like we're just going to try to set it for next turn, and we're just going to move 1, 2 to here with that person. No, technically we should be doing that after. Full moving away from the monster is going to be, how much are they moving? 7. What makes the most sense for the camera here? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to there. And then does it say anything about facing? Away from the attacker, so we'll face that way. Okay, there we go. It is now the fart time. Oh, you know what? Actually, I didn't need to add this card because, 1 sec here. Yeah, at the start of the monster's turn, before drawing AI, play all fart cards. We weren't told to, I mixed that up. We weren't told to draw any fart cards. I was just mixing up the double swing here. So we don't have any fart cards to play. That is a small blessing. And let's see what this Froggo do. Once played Showdown, where it confused all gear goods and survivors. It totally happens. Yeah, I think especially early game when they're all just the original survivors. And I know for a fact I did it later in the game and in the previous campaign too. Appreciate that though, Jonathan. All right, twitching kick. Stinkiest threat in range. Okay, we're going to see if I can play the survivors as I currently have them lined up rather than how I put them down ahead of time. So the stinky threat is going to be this fellow over here. Full move the monster towards the target. If adjacent, turn the monster so the target is in its blind spot and attack. Okay, so it's going to go just back to where it was, basically. And 3 speed, 5+ accuracy, 1 damage. Going to be 6 up, but because he does have the monster grease. Okay, so we get 1 hit, and it's going to connect with the body. For the body, and that's going to be 1 damage. So we take a light wound to the body. And that is fine. And that's the end of its turn. So the way it moved back here is actually kind of perfect. So I'm going to start with Old Yeller again and see what happens. So we'll have 3 dice, and we'll get these 2 people up because it is the end of the monster's turn. Ooh, and I forgot to actually move this person. Don't mind me, rough starts on remembering everything, but I think I'm remembering things in time for it not to be an issue. All right, so this would have happened at the end of the previous turn. So we'll leave them there for the moment. And we'll start with Old Yeller, swinging in with the Bone Blade. So it's going to be 3 dice hitting on 5s. Okay, well that is an improvement from last time, so we'll take it. We get 1 hit. And we connect with the twitching back. All right, so we're going to add 2 to this result, meaning we're looking for 6 ups. Okay, 8 plus 2 is 10. We definitely wound, which is good. No crit, though. So we'll discard one of the AI cards into the wound stack, getting our first wound of tonight. Very cool. Wound. The monster's carbuncles spit a thin black plasma. All adjacent survivors gain a stink token. If the attacker is insane, they gain the proctophilia disorder. Is Old Yeller insane? No, they are not. But everyone adjacent gains a stink token. So it's going to be Old Yeller being the stinkiest survivor up to 2. And then we have Air Bud, who gets a stink as well. 1 stink. And then also Was it Dogpole 3 or Spot that we had at the very end? I think the Spot was at the end. So that's going to be Dogpole 3. Gaining their first stink token. Boom, boom. Okay, so we've gotten a wound. As far as wound reactions go, that is a nice and gentle one, so we like that. I don't even think they're going to... Actually, yeah, you know what? They can move, and let's go ahead and do it. They're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 onto that leaf, and they're going to try to do a big old jump next turn. Okay, after that, which again, we don't need to deal with any fart cards yet, so that is something. So let's go ahead and try to swing in with our person with the dagger here, which should be Airbuds. Yes. Okay, so 3 attacks, hitting on 6s. Okay, we get 1 hit. We'll take it. We'll take it. The dice are not in our favor yet, but they do get swingy. All right, so critting on a 10, wounding on a 7. Oh, 6s once more, so just shy. There is no fail response, though, so that's something at least. As far as the person right in front, let's try to hit here, too. So we got 2 dice hitting on 7s for Dogpole 3. We do get a hit. Good stuff, good stuff. Hitting the festering shoulder. That's the same idea. We're going to be looking for a 7-up. And if we do get a 7-up, there will be a wound reaction. No. So no reaction and no wound. Let's go ahead and back them up to there too. So that we're set to do a big old jump down next turn. Speaking of jump downs, for Spot on the Mammoth Leap, we're going to use their action to bounce here. So they can move up to 7 spaces and activate a weapon with +3 strength, which is pretty freaking cool. So they're just going to bounce directly into the Heinous Origin. And so 2 dice hitting on 6s because of the blind spot. And it's going to have 4 strength instead of 3. Looking for 6s. Oop, that die disappeared. Let's roll a different one. Ouch. Not taking 4 dice. Yeah, the one on the floor was a critical fail anyway, so. Dang, that is a shame, because that would have had 4 strength and would have had a good chance to wound. Bummer. All right, so back to its turn. It's been a very slow start to this one, but it hasn't been diabolically bad for us, so that is something. Let's see what this Froggo Doggo is going to do. Ooh, an advanced card. I think this might be the first advanced card we've seen, because I got really lucky with the wound stack last time. Soaring Bony Punch. Furthest Stinky Survivor. That is going to be Air Bud once more. Okay, so we could move, perform leap, target suffers grab. Do we have, I wonder if we have that survival action yet. Let's see. Dragon Speech, encourage to stand up, and survival +1, so I don't think we have... I think, is dash the one that you have innately? I think it is. So we could dash, and that might actually save us. Just going to look at this card really quick here and see if it's worth it. Perform leap, target suffers grab, so grab would be damage, and then also move and attack. I guess technically speaking, the perform leap would be random, and then it would move to attack. So let's do the random leap first. We'll just do highest roll gets it. I'm really hoping it's this one, so we'll go this one first. Getting a 5 to the north there, getting a 2. Nice high roll would be nice. 7. That is fantastic. So first part of the act, it scoots down here. There's no one on the Mammoth Leap to suffer grab, which is nice. And we might actually be able to dash and out of range this, which I think might be worth it. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, I'm just going to count this out with the actual mini because it's got a big base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I'm going to use my survival and dash, going back to there and getting out of its range so that we basically cancel its attack. Survival down to 0 for not Airbud, Old Yeller. And I think that was worth it because it would have been 3 dice hitting on 6s, to be fair, which isn't great, but then 2 damage apiece, which is pretty brutal for level 1. So I think that's a decent use of their survival. Okay, and that is the end of its turn. So back to us. We do have 2 people that are poised to do some pretty good damage, hopefully, which would be awesome. Let's see if we can make it happen. So starting with the person that's the furthest away, how far can they go? So they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not getting the blind spot is a bit of a bummer because it'd be hitting on 7s. So maybe let's start with Old Yeller and then see if it ends up moving on a reaction and ends up getting closer. Also, I don't know if that's in focus here. One sec. There we go. No, that didn't actually work. Let's see if we can focus it up by getting it on the mini. Put that back there. Cool. I don't know if that actually did or not. Anyways, let's do this thing. So we can do that bounce action and get into the blind spot. We'll get right into the heinous origin. And so 3 dice hitting on 5s. Oh my goodness. That is 2 4s and a 1. So our Bone Blade Jumper does not connect with any. That is absolutely vile. Okay, well, with that in mind, let's see about... let's have Spot go. In fact, I should have moved how to move there, because then it would be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm just going to do a slight little retcon. I'm rusty, I haven't played in a while, so that retcon is okay with me. Spot is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, also in the blind spot. Pun not intended, but much appreciated. So 2 dice hitting on 6s. 1 hit, and we connect with the trap. Okay, fun stuff. Carbuncle Cough. All survivors are doomed. All at once, the carbuncles screw their eyes shut and start to gag. Wriggling mucus-covered balls emerge from the carbuncle orifices. This can never be unseen. All adjacent survivors suffer monster-level brain damage. Shaking off its spawn, the ornery monster lashes out, perform basic action targeting the attacker. Gross. Alright, so monster-level brain damage to everybody. Let's do that first. Okay, so Airbud, monster-level brain damage. Airbud is going to... Is it all adjacent or all survivors? Yeah, all adjacent. So Airbud is not adjacent, so we're good there. It's just going to be Dogpole. And Old Yeller. So Old Yeller did have 1 insanity going down to 0. That's something. And then basic action targeting the attacker. So let's go ahead and do that. Is it turn to face? Yeah, so we'll turn to face this way. And 3 dice, 5 up, 1 damage. Okay, that is only 1. Let's see where it hits. The boots on Spot. That is fine by me. As far as traps go, that could have been much worse. All right, so we will shuffle up this deck, and hopefully we don't see that trap card for quite a while. It's not like a horribly brutal one, at least, but still. Okay, make sure this is nice and shuffled. And fingers crossed with flipping this over. Our luck shall turn around. Don't have the card, but I think he performs Gaseous Bloat after the basic action. Oh, I'm just going to look and double check, and then I'll just reshuffle afterwards, because I think you might be right. Ornery Monster lashes out, perform basic action targeting attacker. Not on this trap card. So we're all good there for Gaseous Bloat, but I am surprised I haven't actually seen anything yet. Place the card. Yeah. Okay, so we'll shuffle that again. There we go. And fingers crossed, we won't see that again soon. There we go. All right, so we got 2 more turns, and this did, you know what, in a way this did actually help, because now we can leap into the blind spot with a weapon and hopefully have a higher chance of actually hitting, which would be nice. Let's go ahead and do that next. We're able to bounce 7, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And this is going to be with just a founding stone. So it's going to be 2 dice, 6s to hit, and adding 4s to it. So looking for 6s. We get 1. We'll take it. And Festering Heal. The strangely joined leg spasms, splashing brackish water on the frog dog's oozing skin. Okay, well, we don't crit, but we're adding 4 to the result, so we just need 4 up. Okay, amazing. Oh, yeah, no, we don't crit. But that's something. We do another wound, so we've got 2 wounds down in, I think, 2.5, 3-ish turns. Boom, boom. Alrighty, Roo. We've got another wound down. That is good. That is good. And then we've got 1 more person to go who can go. Do we want them to attack from the blind spots? Our dice rolls have been horrendous. Let's just move them here and have them prepped to do a bounce. Meaning, back to its turn. There's no force to play, so we shall play the next AI card. Carbuncle Eruption. It's a mood. Fun stuff. When this comes into play, perform basic action. So we'll do that. Gotcha. Sorry, I was reading the wrong card. You are spot on. Perform Gaseous Bloat. So let me just double check here. Gaseous Bloat. Place the top card on the fart deck. So we're going to play a fart card before we move ahead with the basic action here. Or, yeah. Okay, so a little belated, but thank you there, Jonathan. I went and searched for the trap card instead of reading the basic action. So a first fart of the game, run emission. A wave of prickling as every pore in your skin opens at once to soak up the greasy stench. God, that's awful. Target a survivor the fewest spaces from the heinous origin. They suffer monster level damage to a random hit location. Monster level brain damage, and gain a stink token. Okay. That is going to be not Airbud. That is Dog Pole 3. That's a pretty brutal fart out of the ones I've experienced so far. Okay, so monster level brain damage, or damage to a random location. So that is Dogpole 3, getting a fart to the heads, getting knocked down. And then also monster level brain damage. That is going to be a happy fun Table of Doom roll. Okay, for the brain. So looking for anything but a 1 or a 2, please. 3. Memory loss. Lose 2 levels of weapon proficiency. I mean, that would have been awful, but we don't have any weapon proficiency yet. So there is that at least. We don't gain any insanity, though, which would have been nice. Okay, so that is our first fart card played. And I should have probably had 1 more fart before then. I was misplaying stuff, but all good. We got it now. Okay, so back to this turn's basic action, and then we'll continue with the mood. Okay, so random stinky survivor in range. Nothing to do with being a threat or anything, so we'll just do these 3. Lowest we'll get it. So we'll knock down, getting 7, getting 9, and also a 9. So that is going to be our knocked down buddy. 3 dice on 5 ups. It's going to be 2. On Dogpole. 2 to the body. That does not spark joy. So Dogpole. That would end up being a happy fun Table of Doom roll for the body. So I think we're going to dodge 1 of them and just take 2. And our survival is now down to 0. And then perform Gaseous Bloat. So we have a fart card on the double sphincter. And now back to the mood. Carbuncle Eruption. The frog dog's carbuncles continuously vomit inky spray. When a survivor attacks from the spray zone, they gain a stink token and suffer -3 accuracy to the attack. Okay, so that's going to be in play for the rest of the game, and that is gross. So basically, we do not want to attack from the sides. There's just... we don't want to be in the spray zone. As simple as that. We'll put that there. Okay, that is going to be our turn. So we do want to get... We're going to want to encourage here because we want to get rid of that fart card if we can. So who do we have with a survival? Spot is going to spend their survival to encourage, allowing this person to get up and act this turn. So because they're in the heinous origin, they will act first. This person being Dogpole 3. Again, I'm pretty sure I've mixed up the survivors a couple of times at this point, but that's okay. It'll get easier as the lantern levels cruise on here. All right, so Dogpole 3 is going to, they've stood up, and they're now going to attack from the Heinous Origin. So they got 2 dice hitting on 6s. Ooh, we get a perfect hit, in which case, oh no, we have a Founding Stone. We don't have the other thing, but a perfect hit is still nice, and we get 2 hits to boot. So let's see what we connect with. Not the trap, that is always a plus. So Twitching Digit Flexor and Sticky Tongue. So we have a wound and a fail reaction here. Perform leap, attacker suffers grab, and failure. Perform leap and suffer grab. Well, I think let's go with the wound result first, because if we could wound it, that would be nice at least. Okay, so adding 1 to this, needing a 7 on the dice. Nope, so we do not wound, meaning we don't suffer that effect. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get this one. So 7 up. Hey, there we go. That is the first 7 up that we've actually rolled to wound. So that is something. Not a crit, but a wound indeed. So we're up to, I think that's the 3rd wound if I recall correctly. And that was from the Heinous Origin. So we discard a fart card. Boom, boom. There we go. And now they can move. So let's scoot Dogpole 3. 1, 2, yeah, probably just right there. Oh, maybe 1 more actually, because how would this work? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it wouldn't. So yeah, right there is gonna be fine. Alrighty, Roo. So that is good stuff. Let's see about. I think I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. Okay, Spot is going to go. Do I want to attack and then move? I guess that makes the most sense. Yeah, let's do it. So Spot, also Founding Stone. It's going to be 2 dice hitting on 7s. Nope, that's fine. I almost wasn't going to attack with them anyways. And then they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. That would be good. Over to there. And next up, just in case there's an unlucky leap here, we're going to go with this person. This person being... what is their name again? Not Dogpole 3. Airbud. Okay, so Airbud is going to go. And they are going to bounce, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, getting into the Heinous Origin there as well. And so with their Bone Dagger, they have 3 dice to hit. Going to be hitting on 6s. We get 1. Maybe that's all we need. We connect with the Twitching Mammary Sac. So we're going to be adding 4 to this. We don't get a crit, but all we need is a 4 up, and we get a 2. My dice rolls have been absolutely wretched tonight. But no fail response, so that is something. I feel like this is just a sign that I'm going to retire the dagger from here on out. Not my cup of tea so far, and dice rolls have been bad, and I don't think the bone dagger is very good. But we'll call it as a sign. Okay, then last but not least, we have... Oh, I've been forgetting about the disorder. Who has the disorder? Is that Airbud? Yes, it is. So Airbud then falls to the ground because they are traumatized. At least when they fall down, they get up at the end of the monster's next turn, which is its next turn anyways at this point. So, I mean, it kind of sucks, but it could also be worse. Okay, so back to old Yeller. So we've got 3 dice with the Bone Blade hitting on 6s. Yeah, true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I only have the 1 set of Kingdom Death dice. And all my RPG normal dice are put away somewhere because I moved recently. But these dice are just killing me. All right, so that is a crit fail and 2 2s. Ouch. Okay, do I want to move with him? We could do a setup here to hopefully get more to wound 2. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or yeah, let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And the spray zone doesn't matter because we are not attacking. So that is going to be the end of our turn. We don't have a fart card to play, which is nice. And let's see what this Froggo Doggo going to do. Dripping Backhand. Stinkiest threat in range. That is going to be Airbud. So move and attack target. 3 speed. It's going to be 6 ups because of the greasy goodness that they're wearing. And 1 damage. So nice and easy. They're just going to go right there. Hitting on 6s. Only 1 hit. I think that's basically been every single turn, which is pretty good. And that is going to be to Old Yeller's Waist, in which case we do have an armor, bringing that down to 0. Gaseous Bloat. We put a fart on the double sphincter. There we go. So we would like to get rid of that if we can. But we shall see. So that is going to be back to our turn. So we're once again, fingers crossed, in a good situation. So we'll stand them up. They are in the blast zone, which we don't want. And they do have the dagger, which I don't really trust for the Heinous Origin. So they're going to stay put for now. Let's go ahead. Airbud, no, Old Yeller with the Bone Blade is going to bounce, going into the Heinous Origin. There we go. Using the same, you know what, I'm going to retrieve the 4 die and just hope that 1 slightly different dice will be of assistance here. Okay. That one, and these 2. So we're hitting on 5s. Hey, we do get a perfect hit and another hit. So not a full suite, but 2 hits sounds good. The Bone Blade is just frail. It's got nothing else special, so 2 hits. Please, no trap. Yahoo! Okay, Festering Thigh and Twitching Hand. 2 fail responses. So 1 flexes its finely tuned leg muscles, spraying vile sweat. Nasty. All adjacent survivors gain a stink token, and if the attacker is sane, they gain a disorder. Or Twitching Hand, which has a failure, performing Leap and Gaseous Bloat. Let's go with Festering Thigh first. Okay, so we're rolling that same new dice. Fingers crossed. We just need a 4. Oh my goodness, we crit! Okay, grabbing the 4 die was absolutely worth it. So, critical wound. Barely hidden ligaments pulse with pain. The monster gains a -1 movement token and gain a random Frog Dog resource. We love to see it. So, we're going to pick up a Spindly Paw. Stinking Marrow drips from the porous surface. Good stuff. We'll put that up in the corner. And -1 movement. Grab one of those real quick. Beautiful. And we'll put that just by the basic action. Amazing. So we can only move 6. If we had more survival, we'd be able to out of range evade it. Which we can't do, but you know, because we don't have any real survival at this stage. But always good to remember that we can in the future. Okay, so there we go. And Twitching Hand. So once again, wounding on a 4. Crit fail. That's okay. We got the wound. That is something. Did I actually add it to the deck? No, I didn't. Let's be sure to do that now. And we also get to discard the fart card off the top of the double sphincter, so that is nice too. And fail. The monster escapes harm, its bowels agitated with rage, performing Leap, then Gaseous Bloat. Alright, so Leap, it's going to jump onto a random Mammoth Leaf here, so we'll just go highest roll gets it. Okay, I'll re-roll these 2. Alright, this one, which is a bit of a bummer. That's a shame. Okay, Leap. Can we... No, we cannot. So it's going to jump into the center. And Gaseous Bloat. Crashes down. All adjacent survivors and people it lands on suffer damage to a random location. So it's going to crash down there, and she gets pushed back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suffering some random damage to a random location. To the hands. You know what? Hands are okay in my book. And that was, I do believe that was Dogpole 3 to the hands. So light wound there. Okay. So that's Twitching Hand. Done. And we have 1 more person to go. Actually, no, we have 2 more people to go. Actually, I think we have 3 more people to go because that was the start of our turn there. Yeah, so we got 3 more people to go. Gaseous bloat. So we do pull that onto the double sphincter. Almost forgot that again. And so, who has the highest chance of doing this? Probably Dagger person. So we'll scoot them into the heinous origin. Ooh, actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? We're going to go with Spot. They are going to bounce all the way up to here. And with the Founding Stone, it's going to be 2 dice hitting on 6s. Oh, man. Wretched dice rolls abound. Alas. Okay, and then next up, Dogpole. Who's got the daggers? Nope. Airbud has the daggers. All right, so 3 dice hitting on 6s. And that's 1. Festering shoulder. So a wound response hitting on 6s, wounding on 7s. Nope, and there's no wound response there, so that is something. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are going to scoot back to that mammoth leaf for their movement. And I think we're probably just going to jump on a mammoth leaf or 2 because they could attack, but it would be specifically attacking with -3 accuracy. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting to there. And that is the end of our turn. So we're going to play a fart card to start the Froggo Doggo's turn. With a forceful emission, the deflating relief of bracing for an impact that passes you by. Target a survivor the fewest spaces from the heinous origin. They suffer monster level damage to the waist hit location and gain a stink token. All survivors adjacent to the target gasp a sigh of relief, each gaining 1 insanity. That's a shame, no one's adjacent. Okay, so that is going to be... Old Yeller gets it here. So damage to the waist location. I think we already took 1 to the waist. Yes, we did. So that is a light wound. And then no insanity, which is too bad. But that is what it is. And on to its turn with Revulsion. Adjacent targets. So plural. You know what? That works out well that that moving happened. Intimidate targets. If we can't move, we can't dash because we already used survival to dash earlier. The monster carbuncles sagging eye sockets phosphoresce. So my assuming is, so phosphorescence, like bioluminescence, the sagging eye sockets glow. Unbidden thoughts of dread inspire queasiness. All targets suffer monster level brain damage. Any sane target still standing, panic and full move directly away from the monster. We don't have sad Frog Dog song, so we'll ignore that for now. Monster level brain damage to Old Yeller. That is going to be a heavy brain wound, but we don't... Okay, they are sane. They're knocked down, so they can't full move. So I think that's how we'll play that. They get knocked down and they don't need to full move away. Revulsion. Okay, cool. That is the end of its turn, meaning it's our turn. We do want to get him up. Do we have anyone that has a point of survival left? Spot all the other. No. Dogpole. No. And Airbud. Yes. Okay, so we're going to spend Airbud's survival to encourage getting Old Yeller back up. And I think we're going to start with Old Yeller just because of where they are. So it's going to be 3 dice hitting on 5s. Amazing. We get 2 hits. Festering Dome and Festering Spindly Toe. So Reflex, that's going to happen automatically. Leap, then Gaseous Bloat. I think let's start with Spindly Toe, because I would rather being able to wound it preferably twice instead of it leaping away. All right, so needing 6s to wound in this case. Boom, we do wound. Bad stuff is going to happen. Just got to shuffle the AI discard really quick here. Jonathan, even though I didn't have a proper set of dice to actually switch out, excellent call of doing so. Getting the Lonely Floor die seemed to have changed the luck in my favor at least a little bit. There we go. Add that one to the wound stack. And then we'll get into the actual wound effect here. Pockets of gas shift in the monster's midsection, causing irritating muscle cramps. The monster's limbs flap haphazardly if adjacent to the attacker. Suffer, if adjacent, the attacker suffers 2 damage to monster level hit locations. Full move the monster away from the attacker. Okay, so that is actually kind of a bummer too. I didn't realize the full move part, but that is the way it's going to be. Okay, so 2 damage to a monster to 1 hit location, 2 damage to the boots for not Airbud, but for Old Yeller. All right, that's gonna be a heavy wound, knock down, and then full move it away so we don't actually get to attack the second one. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. There we go. All right, so they were, I think, there. No fart card to discard, so there is that. Okay, so that was one person's turn. We have 2 people that can leap, which is nice. I think this person is just going to, we're going to go with them last, just so we can maybe avoid a leap. For starters, let's have Airbud go. So Airbud is going to bounce, getting into there, and we have 2 dice hitting on 6s. No hits. And then same thing, we're going to bounce into the blind spot, 2 dice hitting on 6s. Boom, we get 2. 1, twitching abdominis, and twitching Achilles tendon. So failure, undulating spasms, 2 damage and full move monster away, reflex, leap, and gaseous bloat. So this happens either way. This only happens if we fail. So let's go ahead and hope that we will wound. So on a 4-up. Boom, we do. Fantastic. So twitching abdominis goes there. We are able to wound the monster. Just a few left to go. And then reflex here. So same idea, wounding on a 4. Fantastic. We do wound. Boom, boom. All right, so reflex. With growls from its maw and its bowels, the monster takes to the air. Perform leap, then gaseous bloat. All right, so we'll do lowest dice. Gets the leaf. This one it is. Okay, so bounce. And I think it is supposed to face away from the center of the board, if I remember correctly. So we'll scoot that forward a little bit. There we go, there we go. And then this fellow is going to go, going 1, 2, 3, 4 onto that leaf. And that is going to be the end of our turn. That was probably the best round we've had yet, I think. We're able to do, I think, 3 wounds, which is fantastico, fantastico. All right, so its turn. There is no fart card to play, so let's draw its AI card. Soaring Bony Punch. We do get the advanced card here again. So Furthest Stinky Survivor is going to be our good old pal, Old Yeller, who is going to have to just tank this one. So let's do this. Perform Leap. Target suffers grab. So let's see where it goes to. It would be one of the ones that it's not on. So it'd be either this or this. We'll say lowest again. So that would be over to here. It bounces over. No grab to manage, which is something. And then it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, getting the exact amount of range it needed to get into play here. So 3 dice, hitting on 6s, and 2 damage apiece, which is pretty brutal. So I would really love a full suite of misses here. Hey, 2 isn't bad. Let's see where we're taking that 2 damage. The hands. All right, let's see for Old Yeller and the hands. That's okay. We take a serious wound and get knocked down from it, but we don't need to roll on a happy, happy, fun table, and nothing else horrific happens. So we're okay with that. We are okay with that. All right, that is the end of its turn, meaning it's back to us. He's not able to stand up because he just got knocked down. I do believe you are able to stand up. This might not be a big turn for us, though, because we're either going to have 2 folks attack from head-on. Our heaviest hitter is knocked down, and we can't encourage them to get back up. So let's see. How do we want to do this? I wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do that first. So Spot is going to swing in with 2 Founding Stones to start. So it's going to be 2 dice hitting on 7s. 1 hits, which we shall happily take. Carbuncles. It's the first time seeing this one. Impervious. Cannot be wounded. A wound or critical wound will not remove or defeat the monster. So if we get a Lantern 10, something fun might happen. No. So you know what? We'll save whatever that is for another time because we aren't able to actually wound that. And then we're going to use our movement and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting onto that mammoth leaf. Just kind of off the map there. Next up, let's see. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that person would not be able to. And then this person could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and would be able to try and make an attack. So I think let's do it. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a spot. So same idea with Founding Stones. 2 dice hitting on 7s. Oh, amazing. 2 hits. We are working our way through this hit location deck, so the trap will be coming up soon. In fact, there we are. Trap, trap, party. That is the way she goes. All right, so all at once the carbuncles screw their eyes shut and start to gag. All adjacent survivors suffer monster-level brain damage. That's going to be 2. So spots, monster-level brain damage, gets a heavy wound, gets knocked down from the brain damage. And then Old Yeller also has to do a happy, happy, fun Table of Doom roll for the brain. So anything but a 1 or a 2, something that gets insanity would be nice. 8. Alrighty, 7 to 8. Lunacy, gain a random disorder and 1d5 insanity. So Old Yeller getting a disorder, random 1. Vestophobia, you cannot wear armor at the body location. If you are wearing armor at the body location, when you gain this disorder, archive it as you tear it off your person. Well, that stinks. How do we get rid of that? I was going to have this character as being a bit more of a tanky one, but that is not going to fly without chest armor. Well, that does not spark joy. Okay, and we get 5 insanity. So we'll add that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Boom, boom. And then basic action targeting the attacker. That we shall do. I'm just going to shuffle the hit location deck first. We did have a good run, though, because we went through probably like 2/3 of the hit location deck there without it cropping up. Without it crop dusting up, shall we say. So, can't be too upset with that. Okay, there we go. All shuffled. There we go. One more, just in case. Boom, boom. Okay, and basic action. So 3 dice hitting on 5s. That's going to be 1. It's going to connect with the body. And this being, I think it was spot for the body. So it's going to be 1 damage to the body, being a light wound. And then gaseous bloat. Fart deck is in play. There we go. And that is going to be the end of its turn. So, no, that was a trap. That is not its turn. This is our turn. All right, with that in mind, it's our last person's go, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. So we have an even spread of folks. Bloodletting will help get rid of that. Awesome. Thank you. We'll definitely be looking for... Or just make them gain 3 more. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of, I guess we'll finish the fight and then decide, but between innovating or just trying to get as much gear as possible, we shall see. Okay, that is the end of our turn. So, unfortunately, the fart card is going to play because we weren't able to get rid of it before its turn. So, oily emission. Wretched heaving so extreme you fear you will vomit your inner lantern. Target a survivor the fewest spaces from the heinous origin. They suffer monster-level damage to the body and waist location and gain a stinky token. That is going to be... I think that is Spot in this corner. Okay, so... 1 damage to the body and waist for Spot. So it's a heavy wound to the body and a hit to the armor for the waist. So they are knocked down. And gaining a stink token. 1 stink. There we go. And now its AI card is going to be Dripping Backhand, stinkiest threat in range. We only have one stinky threat, and let's see if they're able to get to them. So it'd be, oh yeah, absolutely. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to there. 3 speed, 5+, 1 damage. Oh, beautiful. You know what? I shall take the 3 3s in this case. Fantastic. The Gaseous Bloat, another part card on top of the Double Sphincter. There we go. And now it's back to our turn. So we're able to stand up these two. I don't think this one gets to because he was knocked down on the monster's turn, and it's not the end of the monster's next turn yet. I believe that's the correct interpretation of the rules. So let's see. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think what we'll do is we'll start with our heavy hitter. While they are up, Old Yeller, who is going to bounce into the Heinous Origin. 3 dice, hitting on 5s. Okay, we get a perfect hit and 2 misses. So we shall take that perfect hit straight to the bank and connect with Festering Throat. So we just need 6s. We need a 2+. Oh my god. So needing a 2+, getting a 1. Oh, Old Yeller has missed so many times. All right, well, that's a shame, and that's their movement too, so they're unable to get out of the Heinous Origin. Bomber. All right, well, from that point, let's go with this person, because they'd be at risk of a leap, so they're also going to bounce, getting up to here. And this should be, I think, if I remember correctly, this is Air Bud. So we'll have 3 dice, hitting on 6s. Hey, that works. 2 perfect hits, and on a Bone Dagger perfect hits, gain +1 survival. And so we gain 2 of those. So we go up to our max of 2 survival. Very nice. We shall take that for sure. Okay, so that is 3 hits. 1, 2, and 3. And it's going to be 4 ups to wound, which is nice. This, I don't want to jinx it, but this might, in a perfect world, if we get every single one, we would win here. However, we wouldn't be able to get this card last. Okay, so just looking at these really quick here. So Festering Mammary Sac. Critical Wound, which would be nice. No reactions, which is also nice. Wound, Leap, and Grab, which would basically mean we wouldn't be able to do the last one, which of course is the Death Blow, which would be too fitting, and we only have, including the basic action, 3 cards left to play. So that's a shame, unless we don't wound, but then it wouldn't be the Death Blow anyways. So, if the attacker is not... Oh, never mind. If the attacker is not in the monster's blind spot, never mind. Okay, I think this this could work. So let's do this order. So twitching Mammary Sacs. If we get everyone, we get the Death Blow, which would be really cool, and I've never had that happen before. 4+. Oh, drum roll to negatory. We are not going to be able to get the Death Blow. That is another natural one. So we'll put that card back in the discard pile. Twitching Digit Flexor. 4+. It's a 2. Okay, so we don't wound. And then Festering Gas Stomach. That's true. On a crit, we could have avoided it too, but unfortunately, the only crits we get are crit fails. All right, 4+. Hey, huzzah! So we do wound the Death Blow, but it doesn't actually cause the Death Blow effect. So we won't read it. We'll save it for the next time it comes up to play. And need to shuffle the 2 cards left in the AI discard here. One is an advanced, one is a basic. I do know that. There we go. Okay, and we do have one more person that can go this turn. Oh, and then they're knocked down because of their disorder. I think I've remembered that 50% of the time. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 into the blind spot. It's going to be 2 dice hitting on 6s with the Founding Stone. Hey, perfect hits and an 8. That shall do. No trap yet. We do get the Carbuncle. So let's go ahead and start with that. So let's see if we can get a Lantern 10. Oh, it was so close. I literally spun on the side of the Lantern 10 for like a good half second there. But no diggity, so we'll discard that. And switching hands. So we would like to wound here, needing a... what do we need? A 7-up. 9. Heck yeah. We discard the last AI card in play. We just have its basic action left to go. In which case, it gets to go. It is going to fart on us. Just so wretched. All right, so fart. Dusty emission. The crushing smell of decay makes your joints creak under the weight of your own corporeality. Target a survivor the fewest bases from the heinous origin. They suffer monster level damage to a random hit location and gain a stink token. This can be Old Yeller. So 1 damage to the boots. We shall take it. Oh, the boots. That is actually going to be a knockdown and a happy fun table roll on the legs, which does not really spark joy. There's nothing else we can do about it. So please not a 1 or a 2. 7. All right, what is 7? Torn muscle. Your quadricep is ripped to shreds. You cannot dash until the showdown ends. Skip the next hunt. Gain a bleeding token. Okay, let's see. Severe injuries. Torn quadriceps. Torn muscle? Is that the same thing? Yeah, okay, cool. Gain a bleeding token. There we go. And another stink token. This person is definitely the stinkiest survivor we have. Going up to 3. All right, so that is now discarded. And it is going to basic action. So, random stinky survivor in range. That is going to... We only have... Oh no, technically it's not threat, so it is any of them. Okay, and it can get anybody, so I guess we'll just do lowest dice roll. Did he already have a heavy injury? He did already have a heavy injury. In which case, we shall keep him stood up. Jonathan, I appreciate all of the rule and little catch check-ins. I've got a bad habit of making games more difficult for me than they should be. And so that is a perfect example of that. Thank you. Okay, so that does help. Let's see. So who's going to hit? He go here. The lowest is going to get it once again. Oh, that's going to be our buddy pal who we would rather have survive, Old Yeller. So Old Yeller is going to get it here. So 3 dice, 6 ups at least. So we do like that. Okay, so we shall turn around to face. 3 dice, 6 ups. Just 1. That has been, I think, every turn for Old Yeller here. Just taking a slow beating. Okay, to the hands. Okay, already has the severe injury. So that is going to be a happy fun hand table roll. So once again, please not a 1 or a 2. An 8. What is an 8? Spiral fracture. Your arm twists unnaturally. Gain -2 strength tokens and skip the next hunt. Okay, -2 strength tokens is not great, but also not horrendous given the state of the fight that we're at. And another bleed token, and then we already have the skip the next hunt event, so I'm not going to bother adding it. There we go. And then gaseous bloat. So we'll put another fart card on the double sphincter. We get to stand up our buddies. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think let's go with a person... You know what? I think, let's see, we do actually have a founding stone, and I'm kind of tempted to use it, but we don't need to use it now. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do that. So bouncing into the heinous origin, we have 2 dice hitting on 6s. Perfect, we get 2 hits. And we don't get the trap, that is good. And we just need 4s to wound here. So we have 2 reflexes. Probably go with this one first, rather than... Oh, no, we can go with this one first, because it's not in the blind spot. So let's do this. On a 4+, we win. On a 10, we crit, and still win. There is the long-awaited 4 that we've missed so many times. but it comes in clutch right at the end of the fight. So we defeat the Frog Dog. Didn't go as smooth as level 1, but I think part of that is me deciding to make the bow and dagger like an idiot. Mike, who watched a bunch of the previous campaign, commented that it was probably a bad call, and Mike, it was absolutely the wrong call. So I should not have made the bone dagger. Boom! We defeat the Frog Dog, and everyone survived this time, which is a nice change from the last one, where a survivor died turn 1 after trying to loot a copperfish den. Alrighty, Roo, very exciting stuff. So let's push these fellows off to the side a little bit here. There we go. Showdown Frog Dog. Rewards. The first time the Frog Dog is defeated, add the Frostcrafter to the settlement locations and Lingering Cough to the next lantern year on the settlement timeline. So let's go ahead and let's just get back here. Complete Showdown. Hunt XP. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, fun stuff, and let's see, did it add it to the timeline? No, it did not, so let's go ahead and do that. To the next lantern year on the settlement timeline, Lingering Coughs. Story events, Lingering Coughs. There you go. All right, so we got that set for the next lantern here, and it's level 1, so we get 4 basic and 4 Frog Dog resources. We'll do the basic ones first here. One, 2, 3, and 4. And that's just over there, and let's see what we connect with. We get Monster Hides, Triple question mark, Monster Bone, and Love Juice. During the settlement phase, you may archive this to Intimacy, and nominated survivor must be able to consume. Okay, cool. So we'll add those over there, and then we'll also get 4 Frog Dog resources. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is that? Ah, there's the basic action. I had it in the middle of the resource deck. But yeah, it was the exact same anyway, so that's okay. But we'll pull that out so I know where to find it next time. All right, and we get Oily Sphincter, Gaseous Bladder, Waxydermis. Hey, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had too many, so Supple Hide is going back. Waxydermis. An Oily Shimmer, a Jaundiced Glow, Agitated Gases swirl within. Yes, the survivor being thrown around in the art is absolutely old Yeller. I feel like the name's so applicable. Just took a beating, but didn't go down, and was so hit and miss on actually being able to do anything too. So yeah, absolutely old Yeller on that piece of art. Cool. So there we go there. Let's pick this up here too, just so I can remember what we're doing. So we got the Endeavors, we've got the Survivors, we've updated timeline and death count. I suppose let's go ahead and draw a settlement event and see what we get. Just gonna give these a shuffle. My first campaign, I didn't shuffle them every time. I'm thinking I might shuffle them every time this time, but I haven't decided yet, because last time I just got like rocked by drawing the same one multiple times in a row, and it was a really bad one, and it just wasn't fun. So I feel like the chances of that are very slim. But I do have a little bit more experience with the game now too, so I'm not sure. Let's draw one and see how we go with it. So, Plague! I think this is the same one that I drew in my first campaign. Great. Okay, so another reason to get bloodletting in the future, I guess. Sickness sweeps through the settlement. Survivors are stricken without warning, made too weak to even care for themselves. Select 4 survivors with at least 1 hunt XP. They are infected. 4 survivors with at least 1 hunt XP. We're definitely going to do our super gibbled dingo. And then probably... I do like Old Yeller. And he does have extra speed, so not them. Airbud. Dingo. Airbud, Dogpole 3, Spot, and Dingo. Let's roll on this. Play drawing a new one each year, no double draw. Cool. Yeah, I think I might do it again, just because like the settlement event deck is such a mixed bag, and most of it's not good. And I gotta say, like the feeling of having either a really good fight or a really bad fight, and then drawing a crappy settlement event just stinks. So knowing that there's no double draws does ease that for sure. I probably will just carry that forward. All right, so first things first. Airbud. Where did all my dice get to? All right, under the book. There we go. Alrighty, Roo. So, Airbud is dead. Okay, so cause of death. You know what? I'm not going to bother with cause of death. It didn't really matter at all last time. They are dead. Bummer. Okay, Dogpole 3. Dead. Well, at least they never got a name. And then next up, we have Spot. Okay, Lantern 10. That's got to be something good, right? You make a full recovery. Okay, so on a Lantern 10, that is the best thing that happens, is you just recover well. That is something. Then Dingo. If anyone dies, I was hoping it was going to be Dingo, but I don't know if I want them to die at this point. 6. Okay, do we have bloodletting? No, we do not. Your body tries to fight the infection. Unless you receive treatment below, you will die at the end of the settlement phase. Treatment, which requires ammonia, which we don't currently have. We don't care about Dingo, so they are probably going to die. Wow, what a brutal card. Didn't lose any survivors to the encounter. Lost 3 to Plague. Ouch. Okay, so we'll put that on the bottom and not worry about that until we come back and shuffle at the end. Brutal stuff. Okay, let's see. So what resources do I currently have on me? Show own. So I've got some decent Frog Dog stuff. I think what I'm going to do is just account for these resources and then decide my game plan here, because I do want some more gear. I think that's important, but I would also like to innovate this turn if I have enough. I think I did specifically save up resources to make more stuff this turn at the Frostcrafter, so we shall see. I was also not going to use a Love Juice and just use it as an organ to make stuff, but after losing 3 survivors, I'm kind of tempted. Trash Plague this campaign, no more drawing it ever. I feel like I've drawn it for enough for a lifetime between this campaign and my first one. It's, I think 2 or maybe 3 times in the first campaign, and then first settlement event card of this one too, so my goodness. Oh, thank you. I totally forgot about Death Principle. Yes, I do. Thank you. That means 3 random basic resources. I picked Cannibalism, which is really kind of against my playstyle and such, but just being dogs trying to survive and become dragons, it just felt applicable. So 1, 2, 3 more resources. Ultimate power. So Monster Hide, Monster Bone, and Scrap Lantern. That is good. So let's just organize these really quick. Jonathan, you, sir, have saved me from making, I think, 3 or 4 not diabolically bad mistakes, but some really important quality of life mistakes. So I am very grateful. Okay, so basic resources here. We already have a perfect bone too, which is freaking sweet. Basic. We have 1 of these, 2, 1 of those, 1 of those, 2 bones, and 2 hides. So we'll put those away into that stack there. And then what do we have here? For the Fragodago, Oily Sphincter, Gaseous Bladder, Spindly Palm, which was an extra, and Waxy Dermis. Frog Dog. 1, 2, 3. No, 4 Gaseous Bladders in total now. Actually, no, sorry, I think it's 3. And then Oily Sphincter, Spindly Palm, and Waxy Dermis. We'll put those back in the deck. Back over there we go. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, I didn't even actually put all the settlement events in, so I think I'll shuffle that up later. and keep plague on the bottom. Frostcrafter. So this is the new one that we have. Just going to close the Frog Dog book, put that away over yonder. It's Frostcrafter. I think there might be a typo on this, so I might just use the app, which I'm going to assume is correct for the crafting. My kind of goals are make the grapple claw, long club, spiked buckler, and frog goggles. And I might do a weird build with the grapple claw and turbo tonic, which basically increases your speed and decreases your accuracy. And just have a really high speed, low accuracy character with high luck. I don't know how viably good it'd be, but it sounds fun, so might try it. I want to make the frog dog armor too, but I think I'm going to focus on getting at least one set of rawhide first. Okay, so innovate. I think we are going to innovate this turn. Organ grinder, that would also be nice to utilize. Skinnery and bonesmith. I think we're going to avoid the bonesmith for now because we're going to try to make frog dog weapons instead. So I think for starters, let's innovate. Okay, so settlement. Let's just flip these over here. So we're doing this in the same order. We'll go down to 3 endeavors, and then a bone, organ, and hide. Let's just take these away from our basic ones. Okay, so a bone, hide, and we're going to use the love juice. I think it's a bummer losing that many people so early, but I'm not really concerned with our population yet. I guess we could do the... Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's get that deck of cards out here. Is this the right deck? Cannibalize and Dragon Speech. Those are the ones we have already. Here we go. There we go. This is the right one. All right, so we'll draw 3 of these and choose 1 to keep. 1, 2, and 3. And actually, we're done the fight. Let's push this back up a little bit so there's more view from the table here. And let's see what we got here. Hobble, drums, and inner lantern. Okay, so hobble, survival limit +1. The settlement accepts this nightmare landscape as their home after embracing the plague. Good stuff. Departing survivors gain +1 survival. I do like that. Simple and effective. Drums, music language consequence. Add the drum, so hobble consequence, and this is going to be the drums consequence. Spending an endeavor, you can play the drums. You drum alone, gain 2 insanity. Rhythmic trance, gain 2 survival, or gain the rhythm chaser fighting art or synchronized strike fighting art. Cool stuff. Inner lantern. The settlement finds the lantern light within. All survivors gain surge. Surge is really, really good, and I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think I will do that. Add lantern consequences. I wonder if I should be doing this. Oh, no, I do like to see the art on them, so we'll do it based on the cards. Okay, innovations. So we'll go ahead and find innovations for lantern consequence. So we'll put this up over here with the stuff that we have. These ones can go back in this deck. And we'll look for lantern. Was it lantern consequence? I think so. Inner lantern consequence. Playing table, umbilical bank, hands of sun, final fire, guidepost, self of the fittest, convictions, cooking. That's the lantern oven. Hobble, principle, science, art, paint consequence, education, sculpture, drums, shrine, lantern oven, art, pictograph, faith. It's going to be right at the very end. Okay, shrine. There we go. Is there anything else? Scarification. There we go. So we got 2. So these are going to be added to our innovation deck to potentially draw later. I do want bloodletting now, or I just need to fill up altogether with more disorders to get rid of that one about the chest armor. Okay, but we gain Inner Lantern. That is great. We'll add that in the app here too. Let's see, is that in progress? Yes, I think it is. Innovations, Inner Lantern. There we go. Okay, and then the two that we added from that are gonna double check here. Bear with me for one moment. Scarification and Shrine. Actually, I don't think I updated this before. Sorry, some little management here. Dragon Speech. Here we go. Okay, yes, we don't. Okay, nice. So then it just automatically updated with everything. That is nice. Starting innovation, good stuff. Add language. I don't know if I added those last time. Don't mind me, I'm just going to double check this. Language consequences. Science, Hovel, Science, Sunstaff, Faith, Education, Other, Principal. Faith, Oven, Hovel, Principal, Science, Paint, Education, Sculpture, Paint, Omens, Drums, Shrine, Science, Graph. Okay, looks like I did. Yeah, okay, that should be all good. Alright, so we'll put that there and deal with it after. So we've got that all set. I'll put these back here. I do find settlement phase always gets so messy so fast. And then we have that. So we do have Surge. That is going to be a big plus for the next encounters, as long as you do have some survival to go with it. Awesome, so that is our innovation done. We're not going to do it again, and I don't think you can actually. Once per settlement phase. Oh, I actually cheated too. I'm supposed to only draw 2 innovation cards and keep 1. I think I thought 3 because of something that I unlocked in the previous campaign, so whoopsies. Fear and Trembling. What is this that we can spend endeavors on? The cowering settlement turns their squinting gaze to the lone figure that mounts the obsidian steps. Once per settlement phase, a survivor may spend an action to approach the throne and roll. Okay, so with a warm, wet smack, this. Okay, I think I'm going to spend an endeavor to do this, and I'm actually going to do it on our dingo buddy who is slated to die in a moment here. Reason being, we might be able to use his death as a benefit. So let's roll the dice and see what happens. A Lantern 10. The tyrant leans in and speaks softly to the survivor. Very applicable, the survivor that's about to die on their deathbed. They return pale and stricken, making hoarse exclamations before falling over dead. Draw the top card of the innovation deck and add it to your settlement at 0 cost. Well, that is very nice. Consider Stone Noses for Organ Grinder. Oh, is that for whatchamacallit? It's really easy to make and gives you survival to spend. Okay, let's just shuffle this up because I don't think I shuffled it after I added those cards. And let's see what we get. Scarification, Inner Lantern Consequence. So, Initiation, once per lifetime, gain +1 courage and roll on the hit location table. Fun stuff. So we'll add Scarification into the app here too. Scarification. Boom, boom. There we go. So that actually worked out really well, like surprisingly well. Stone noses. Let's take a look at stone noses because I can't remember specifically what they do. I remember I used them in the previous campaign early on though too. So organ grinder. Stone nose, item jewelry on arrival, +1 survival and insanity. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Specifically the insanity piece actually. Okay, cool. I think I probably will do that. And to make them, I think it is pretty light too. Maybe let's just make one right off the bat. Yeah, with the endeavors. Let's go ahead and probably make 2. Let's do it. 1 and 2. There we go. So that's all of our endeavors spent. So stone noses, good call there, Jonathan. I think I would have totally forgotten about those. And I love that they don't actually cost any resources too. And I think for the gear, just looking at the time here, I might take some time and go through it and see what makes the most sense to make and try to optimize how I build the stuff. So I'll probably do that off camera, but especially I think the settlement phase is already going on long enough. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and Jonathan again for all of the little hints, tips, and bits of advice along the way. This game is so much fun, and I'm rusty as heck. It's been a hot minute, so really appreciate it, and especially with the new content and such too. Freaking cool. Yeah, doing this campaign in comparison to People with Lantern already feels distinct for sure. It's a little cumbersome with the multiple expansions I've pulled in because now all of a sudden I'm going through like 3 different books instead of just 1 or 2. But I think worth it. Really cool stuff. And yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. It'll be 2 weeks from now will be the next one. Probably another frog dog. Once again, trying to get out that gear from him, probably level 1 too. And yeah, anyone has thoughts on dogs in various forms of media to be survivors, or beloved family pet dogs that you want as a survivor that will probably not survive? But again, that doesn't sound like the best call, but any dog name suggestions, definitely welcome to hear them. Could also just be favorite dog breed too. And yeah, thanks again, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!